Oh.
Thank the good Lord.
Yeah, he's the only person I saw that wasn't happy about the neighbors' news.
The fucking jersey number.
Whose
We'll
number
go
was
over
it?
it in a minute. We'll go over it in a minute. Episode 395. We are live, our 2024 NFL preview show. Stephen, Danny, and Vin. And of course, as always, welcome the great Devin. What's up, buddy?
Going on, boys?
What's going on?
Your season gonna last longer than 4 plays this year?
Sure as hell hope so.
I mean,
Because
we got Daniel Jones, so we really can't say much.
The last 5 plays exactly. I'm gonna die laughing.
Oh,
I didn't even fucking see it.
I just remember getting the text message be like, Rodgers' ACL blew up, and they're showing it in slow motion.
Bro, I was there. I watched it live.
Devin was there.
And
You settled in your seat yet?
No, not really. Like, so the defense came on first. The place was going bananas. He runs out onto the field with the flag. Everybody's going crazy. The building's shaking. It's the loudest I've ever heard MetLife.
Right.
In person. And yeah, he goes out there, and as soon as I see him get up after getting hit, he just stands there for a second and does like a quick limp, and then I see him take a seat on the ground, and I said, this is not good. Like, this is not good. Went to the blue tent. The game's still going on. I'm like just on the blue tent. I don't care what's going on in the game. Whatever's going on in that blue tent is the season. And I saw the cart pull up next to it, and I knew it was bad, because if you can't walk to the locker room for the blue tent that's right there, then you tore it. So, yeah, as soon as I saw the cart pull up next to the tent, I knew we were in trouble. And, yeah, I couldn't even celebrate a really cool win, actually, because they won.
It was a cool win.
It really was a cool win.
It was so
you couldn't even see
bittersweet.
the win. They shut the lights off when the guys.
Dude, he scored it, and I looked over at Lauren, and I'm like, how do I even celebrate this? Like, how I can't be happy right now. The season's over. Like, that's it. Zach Wilson's coming in, and it's over.
You know,
Zach
Mike
Wilson
White
ended up having a good camp. I think
No, he's a Buffalo.
Oh, is he? Okay.
He's almost there. Not Wilson. I'm sorry. White.
Mike White.
Mike White. Yeah.
Right, Mike White's going to Buffalo.
He's Finley Stone. He just has to go to.
Wilson's in Denver.
New England.
Wilson's in
Did Wilson survive the cuts? Wow, good for
He
him.
did.
Yeah, but
I guess
it's one of those. They named the quarterback, they named the starter, and then they're going to let the other two fight it out for a week before they make a final decision.
I thought Bo Nix automatically won. I thought they named
Bo Nix is the starter. He is the starter. That's what they said.
He had a super impressive camp.
Right, and then they're gonna figure out the second guy, the second spot, over the next week. Because remember, this week's cuts were like cuts, quote unquote.
I mean, this is your final 53, though. I mean,
this is your final 53, but there'll be moves made between now and the first games. And
I think it's Stidham. Don't they have Jared Stidham?
Yes,
Jared Stidham and Wilson, are going to fight for the back.
Carrying 3 guys, not the end of the world.
Most teams do because of that. Don't you get a roster spot, Danny, or game days for 3 quarterbacks now? Like
no, they vetoed it, so now you have to be on the 53. That's why Tommy DeVito made the 53.
Yeah, but at the rate quarterbacks get hurt nowadays, it's probably a good idea to have a third. If you can afford it. If you can afford to keep a third quarterback on the roster, why wouldn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Keep that extra guy just to, you never know. You'd rather have him, look at the Giant Jet game. If they didn't have 3 quarterbacks, Saquon would have been the quarterback for 3.5 quarters.
That probably would have been a better option. They probably would have let him throw.
Well, that game, Tommy DeVito got elevated from the practice squad.
To not let him throw, though, was wild.
Yeah, that was absolutely
They did,
wild.
but it was like...
No,
they did. It was disgusting.
No,
not
it was
even like an option.
And it was terrible.
Calm it down over there, Summer. We get it. Talk about fucking cutlets over here, and Summer goes nuts. We got it.
Yeah, it's bathroom time. Okay.
Have fun.
First.
Have a good time.
Oh, yeah. Should have a great time out there chasing squirrels and whatever else. Cats. Probably a cat out there somewhere.
Always a cat out there.
So in San Francisco, Rodgers is Venom. It's kryptonite to start the season, huh?
So, let me say this to start. That's a really tough game.
Yeah.
It's not.
That's tough.
Not exactly his favorite place to go play either.
I do like the fact that CMC is compromised. I don't know if he's going to play, but I know that he didn't get a full camp because he was injured. The whole Ayuk situation is still up in the air, whether he gets traded or not. So I think it's going to be a closer game than people think, I guess, because I feel like people automatically assume because it's the Jets that the 49ers are just going to blow them out on national TV, because that's what usually happens on national games for the Jets. They get blown out. But
Sunday night, Monday night.
Monday Night Football.
Huh, perfect, even better. Exactly the same situation as last year, just on the other side of the country.
But I don't know. I have a weird feeling that the Jets have either keep it close or they win the game. I really do think it's going to be a super competitive game, and I think the Jets somehow edge it out by something stupid, like a field goal, like in the final seconds or something. Because this defense is, it's legit. Even without Hassan Reddick, this defense is going to be a top 3 defense in the league.
Fun fact: Rodgers is 6-3 against the Niners in the regular season. Just saying.
And and as much as Vin would like to see him fail, I think he's coming into the season and he's taking it really. I don't hear a lot about Rodgers this offseason as much as I did last offseason. I know they had Hard Knocks and stuff, and you kind of just had to hear it because he's on Hard Knocks. But I felt like he spent a lot more time in front of the camera, off the field, and stuff like that. Going to Knicks games, going to this game, and talking here, talking there, the golf, whatever. I feel like this year was kind of very much focused on just football. So I'm hoping he
outside of running
comes out with a chip on his shoulder and have something to prove. So
outside of being a vice president. Besides that.
Well, rumors of being the vice president.
Yeah, correct. Total football. Besides that.
Which would have never worked out because the guy dropped out and now he endorses the other side.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, I hope Jordan Love's shoulder falls off, and
that's funny. You don't even have anything to do with Jordan Love. It's not even like you have something to do with that.
No, you know what it is? It's at this point because I feel like Vin's been spoiled his whole life with good quarterback play, and I really thought we were going to have some time here where
he needs like
Vin
10 years of misery.
Right, give me something, because this dude literally goes from Favre to Rodgers to now Jordan Love, who had a really nice season last year.
If it makes you feel any better,
no,
there was 8 weeks where I was like, "This is how you guys watch football."
And then I've been watching football like that for my whole life. My whole life.
It's funny. I was talking to a coworker today about trusting Holmes in the 9th inning as a Yankee fan, Dev. And I go, this is what happens when you get spoiled for 20 years. You literally just
and having Mariano. And even after Mariano, I had David Robertson, who was a really solid closer for us. And
then Chapman until the playoffs.
Chapman was good.
Chapman was good until we got to the big moments in the playoffs, and then he would just give up home runs to Altuve. That's what he did. I don't trust Clay Holmes as far as I could throw him. But yeah, you get spoiled, I guess, as a Packers fan. Like I told Vin, he really has to live up to this contract, and he did so last season because as Packer fans, like you said, you're spoiled to have at least elite quarterback play, and if he's not going to be an elite quarterback, then he's going to get ripped apart out there. Like he can't just be a good quarterback; he needs to be like a very good quarterback. Otherwise,
he looks like it so far.
So
we'll see.
I feel like he's got one of the better. Not that Aaron Jones was bad, but Josh Jacobs is going to help him out big time.
Who's your number one receiver over there?
Well, they're
all number one receivers.
Yeah, it's going to be interchangeable.
It's a very matchup dependent thing. It's like
so you have 4 number 2s and number 3s basically.
I would say I would say 4. Probably they would be 2s and 3s on them.
But you just don't have
Christian Watson could be a legit number 1.
Yeah, if he stays healthy.
If he stays on the field.
You're just missing that Devontae Adams type.
Oh,
that
what
you
a-
use.
Have you had one of those?
You did
Imagine
have
having
one, right?
You know,
He might
sometimes-
be wearing green again at some point this year.
sometimes people make
Just a
decisions
different green.
to go play
Mhm.
with people, and then those people get cut.
And those people just get traded
Yeah, I mean,
and gone. Yeah, I think that's a foregone conclusion that he's going to be a Jet. By
it
the way.
has to be the first time anybody has ever had that much reverence for Fresno State.
Yeah.
I don't
It's
even
like-
think Fresno State has that
Yeah,
much.
they were like, Fresno State was like, you guys remember playing here? That's really interesting.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
That's why Fresno State's going to Ann Arbor this week, just because those two went to play with each other in Vegas.
Oh my God! Don't get started. That whole Connor Stallions thing is insane.
My
I
boy
didn't
Devontae
watch it.
Yeah, I didn't either.
will be rejoining his old buddy Aaron Rodgers in New York.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Let me tell you something. If I have Devontae Adams, Garrett Wilson, and Breece Hall on my offense with a healthy Aaron Rodgers, I'm feeling really good. Really good.
Understand that in the concept of normal football, that is true.
That
But
would be the
when
most talented offense that I've ever seen as a Jets fan.
when he has Devontae Adams, nobody else exists. So it doesn't matter
Yeah.
if they're wide open. Nobody
But
else
who
gets
was-
the ball.
But who else on that Packers team besides Devontae Adams
Jordy
did you really have?
But that's the point. They were multiple
Aaron Jones
plays.
is like a top 3
Did you
running
have a
back while he
Garrett
was-
Wilson though? Like someone like the talent of Garrett Wilson on that Packers team to play with Devontae Adams?
The closest they had was when they had him and Jordy. And
But Jordy was always like starting to become on like the back end of his career though.
No.
I wouldn't say Jordy Nelson was as good as what Garrett Wilson is now.
no, but it shouldn't matter when the other guy is wide open, if you know what I'm saying. Like so this all goes back to the Niner game they lost in the playoffs in the last dance year, which is, I don't know why we ever called it that, but it's what it was. Alan Lazard was wide open and he threw it in triple coverage, and that's why they lost the game. Essentially, they then got a punt blocked, so it's not 100% his fault. But it's just
Not
Devontae
100%
Adams.
his fault. He was just chucking and tossing all over the place that game.
I just think Garrett Wilson has the talent potential to be a number one receiver on almost every team that doesn't have like a Justin Jefferson or like a Jamar Chase, like something. But like, I just feel like he could be Devontae Adams Jr. if Devontae did come to the Jets. And at this point, I want as many weapons around Rodgers as possible to like get the ball out as quickly as possible, because then you don't have Garrett Wilson being doubled. You know, you're going to see a lot of dump plays to Breece Hall and stuff like that this year, which is why Breece Hall is being drafted like number 1 and number 2 around fantasy football, because this dude's going to get a ton of touches per game. But if you have Devontae, I feel like it opens up everything for everybody then. I feel like you can't double. You have to choose one person to double. You can't double them both. And Garrett Wilson on single coverage could be a nightmare. And Devontae Adams at single coverage is a nightmare. Like,
It could be.
If they got Devontae, I would feel extremely good.
I don't think it's even going to happen.
I think, listen, I don't think I mean, you saw the wide receiver documentary.
Yeah,
I mean, they brought in Gardner Minshew. That's going to be the starting quarterback, is Gardner Minshew.
he's better.
Gardner
than
Minshew did a
Garoppolo.
nice job with Indianapolis, but where are the Raiders going?
Well, no, nowhere.
So I think at some point it's just a foregone conclusion that he gets traded, and I think the Jets are going to be right in the middle of it. I could
A
see
guy-
other teams being in the middle of it also, but I think that
A guy of that level like never gets traded at the deadline of football. That's the only problem.
That
So
and the Jets and Raiders are two very dumb teams, so both teams will figure out a way to fumble it.
listen, if I get Devontae Adams for a second or third round pick, I'm thrilled.
Well, yeah,
Sure.
obviously.
So
It's like a big contract though. Anyway,
yeah, but you're going all in right now. So I'll worry about the contracts later on.
we're already on the Jets. Let's just keep talking about the Jets, because the one thing I go back to, and let's get everybody's thoughts, but we'll start with Devin's thoughts. Are you sold on the coach? Because I'm not.
No, yeah, neither am I.
This coach reminds me a lot of Rex Ryan, besides like the whole like
Beat loving.
post game kind of crap that
Yeah.
love and beat.
the being
Um,
boastful and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah, but the off the field stuff that he would do, where he's making guarantees and all that kind of stuff, like Salah is more reserved when he's
Right.
off the field. On the field reminds me just running down the sideline, fist pumping, players coach kind of guy, knows how to coach a defense. Like this defense is going to be gross. I'm actually interested of them taking that kid from the Vikings. What's his name? They just picked him up because the Vikings just come as a first round pick 2 years ago.
Oh, I saw that. I don't remember his
Shell?
name.
Scenes, it was CINE.
Yes.
I mean, this is a guy that sat there and turned Quincy Williams into a Pro Bowl caliber linebacker. So I'm excited to see what he does with that guy. And this defense in total is going to be ridiculous. Sauce and DJ Reed are one of the best pairings in football at corner. Jermaine Johnson gets another year to improve as he did last year. I think last year was kind of like his coming out party. And he's going to be better. Will McDonald's going to get more looks now that Bryce Huff is gone. And he's looked good in camp and everything as well. So I'm excited to see this defense. And it reminds me of the Rex days where the defense is going to be top notch. And unfortunately for those teams that Rex coached, the offense was middle of the pack or worse. And going against guys like Peyton Manning, Ben Roethlisberger in their primes, you really can't have a middle of the pack or worst offense that is 75% running. It's just not going to work. So if the Jets offense can be a top 10 offense along with this defense, they're going to be a problem for a lot of teams. But it's yet to be seen because it is the Jets. But hopeful that this is the year where I can finally watch some fun football and not be done by Christmas.
And just you're not sold on the coach as an overall head coach.
I'm not 100% sold on Robert Saleh. I need to see how this offense goes. And I know he's supposed to be the head coach and he's supposed to have his hands in everything. So I can't just sit there and be like, oh, well, we have a great defense and the offense be trash. Like, you're supposed to be the head coach. If you see something that's not working, fix it. Like, put somebody else in charge. Like, if Nathaniel Hackett's not getting it done, like, you got to make a change. But I'm hoping, being that if Rodgers stays healthy, Rodgers is like having another coach.
Rodgers is the offensive
he's the offensive coordinator.
He's the offensive coordinator. So he's going to be calling the plays. He's the one that's going to be sitting there. Well, good luck. I'll take a multiple-time MVP calling my offense. Like, I really will. Like, it's got to be better than what it was last year because I felt like when Rodgers went down, the whole offense was now just trash. It was garbage. There was nothing you could do. Garrett Wilson was basically useless because Zach Wilson couldn't get him the ball at all. It was kind of just hand the ball off to Breece Hall 30 times a game and hope for the best if somebody opens up once in a while and scores. Alan Lazard was terrible. I'm
shocked he's still on the team.
Well, he's had a good team.
You want to try the Rodgers and him thing.
Right.
Oh, I forgot. The offensive coordinator wants him. I forgot. Sorry.
Well, he's had a good camp, though, too, especially with red zone looks. Like, he's not going to be relied on to be the number 2 on this team anymore with Mike Williams playing.
No. Right.
He's going to be relied on to be the number 3. He'll get a lot of red zone looks. He's going to be used almost like a tight end, in a sense. That's the way they've been kind of using him.
Blocker. I'll give him that. He is a good blocker.
They've been kind of deploying him as a tight end, being that you have Garrett Wilson, Mike Williams, and the kid Xavier Gibson has kind of taken over as like the number 3 kind of guy compared to Lazard. So
there'll be packages for Lazard down in the red zone, things like that.
Yeah, stuff like that. They're not going to use him exclusively every down. Like, he's just going to get specific packages, specific looks. Not like he's going to be out there every play like he was last year. So. Yeah, man. I think that Saleh still is. I mean, he's on the hot seat. If they don't make the playoffs this year, he's gone. Same thing with Joe Douglas. They don't make the playoffs this year, gone. It's going to be a whole new front office and coaching staff.
If Rodgers is healthy and they don't make the playoffs, I think he leaves. I don't know if he leaves.
Well, he's already sat there and said that he wants to play for another 2-3 years. Is what he says. Could that change? Sure. Could the Jets force him out? Sure, I guess you'd have to trade him. He just signed a contract, so you have to trade him.
Is it cuttable?
the dead cap would be I
too
think,
much.
insane.
Okay.
So
The
you
Rodgers
find
contract?
somebody's I know he left money on the table to kind of help the team out, kind of thing, or like he renegotiated the contract that he would be sitting on
Which
and signed.
probably means they push
extension.
some of it back.
So they probably pushed it and kicked the can down the road. So I'm assuming that if you cut him,
Right.
it's going to cost you an arm and a leg to do so.
Aaron Rodgers has 1 year left after this, and the rest of it's basically voided. After that, he's a free agent. If they
It would
cut
be-
him next year,
It'd be
if they cut him
49
after the year, it'd be
million,
$49 million cap hit.
which
That's
is
a
actually
lot.
not the end of the world. But it's
Not that in
not
the world, but it's a lot of money though.
at that point. It
And I
would
also
be
want
a-
to see what he looks like. If he
start.
goes out there and they don't make the playoffs, but he throws for 4,500 yards, I mean, how do I sit there and say, okay, get rid of him?
I those two things. It feels
At that
impossible.
point,
I
At
agree.
that
If-
point, that last final year that you have him, just let him
Right.
take the wheel. At that point, let him choose what coach he wants. Let him choose everything, and just let it run out.
It feels impossible for him to be good and they don't miss the playoffs.
Yeah,
Because even
I mean,
like
if he's good, this team is going to be a top 5 team in the AFC.
he only has to be like you can go back and look at 2019. 2019, it was the transitional year between McCarthy and LaFleur, and they weren't sure what they wanted to do. And he was basically just managing things.
Right.
And he threw like 29 touchdowns and like 6 picks. Like it wasn't a crazy stat season.
Right.
But if
But
he
it would
could
still
just
be
do
one of
that,
the best seasons in Jets quarterback
Correct.
history.
if he just
So-
doesn't turn the ball over, they'll be fine.
Right. If he the lowest bar that he needs to hit is being a game manager, and this team makes playoffs. If
Pretty
he
much, I
could
think
be
so.
any semblance of what we know Aaron Rodgers to be, this team is going to be a problem because this defense led the league in points given up under 20 points, per game, whatever it was. So we would lose games 14-6. You give up only 14 points, or you give up 10 points, or whatever. You should win those games. We lost 2 games. At one point, we lost a game to the Patriots by 3. We're just losing games by field goals at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And if this offense could be a top 10 offense and you have a top 3 defense,
Well, you don't even need the Jets to be a top 10 offense. You just need it to be a top 15, top 20 offense.
Lost to the Pats by 5. Lost to the Chiefs by 3.
Yeah,
right.
that was
there's a lot of games there that you just left on the table because you didn't have a real offense.
And then after the Giant game, things just went off the rails.
Right.
Lost to the Raiders by 4, but then they got blown out by the Chargers and the Bills. And the
that
Falcons.
Raiders game was
At that
horrific.
point, once you got towards the end of the season, the defense is already fried because they
Right.
spend
Well, that's the thing. They're on
so
the
much
field so
time on the
fucking
field
much.
every game. They're on the field for 40 minutes. It's crazy how long they're on the field.
Yeah,
for.
that Raider game was crazy.
I mean, they were in and out on 3 and outs. The Jeff offense, every time they went out there.
Yeah. Steve,
So
okay.
I think the Jets have the most potential that I've ever had the pleasure of watching this year with all the talent that they have, a lot of young talent, and you just got to hope Rodgers stays upright with the new offensive line that he has in front of him now.
Yeah.
Tyron Smith, Morgan
Right.
Moses.
We talked about that the other day. Revamping that offensive line was the key this offseason. Wasn't about
Right. I mean,
who can you get him to have weapons. You had the weapons already there. It was
right. The
attacking
first
him.
round pick, says it all. You picked up Tyron Smith at left tackle, and you drafted one of the top left tackles in the draft because, God forbid, somebody goes down, this kid can go in. So it's you invested a lot into the offensive line now. You got rid of Mekhi Becton, who gave up 13 or 14 sacks last year, something like that, maybe even 15.
He's
and you
starting
replaced-
for somebody now.
He's with the Eagles right now.
He's starting.
I don't know if he's starting or not. I didn't get to see. But he gave up 14 or 15 sacks last year, and Smith gave up 1. That's the difference at left tackle that you'll have this year. And if Smith can only play 15 games, 14 games, you drafted a kid at Fashanu, who's been playing really well in camp, and they've been playing him at other positions as well, so that you could still use him, and he's not just sitting on the bench all year.
Becton is the Eagles right guard right now.
He's the starting right guard?
Yeah, he's playing guard, and he's their starting.
See, I think he would be better at guard than he was at tackle. He just didn't fit in as a left tackle. He just doesn't move well enough.
Yeah.
Which is surprising because he ran like a ridiculous 40-yard dash. But like technique-wise, he's just not there to be a left tackle and to go against the team's best players. Like I say, he gave up 15 sacks last year just on his own.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So the line, you got to hope that, Smith stays healthy. Tittman at center was very good last year. Once he came in and got settled in, he really settled in nicely, and he played really well. He had a lot of the high PFF grades.
Okay.
So he graded out really well towards the end of the year once he got settled in. You brought back Morgan Moses, who played really well last year. He's going to be your right tackle probably.
Elijah Vera Tucker is healthy.
Elijah Vera Tucker is healthy.
Okay.
And he'll play, and he's probably one of our most talented linemen that we have. And like I said, Tyron Smith, you traded for John Simpson, who was playing with Morgan Moses last year in Baltimore on the right side. So they have chemistry there also. So I like the way the line looks, and you can keep Rodgers upright for 2.5 seconds. He'll get a lot of points on the board for you.
You would think.
Well, last time he stepped on the field, we have a 38-year-old left tackle who missed his block, and it caused Rodgers to tear his ACL. So I'm hoping different results.
Jordan Love, most overrated QB and second most overpaid next to Daniel Jones.
True.
Okay.
Nice.
I mean, we're just taking pot shots right away.
Going right at him.
Thanks, Paul.
I
don't know what team Paul roots for, but I know Jordan Love is a better quarterback than either of the.
It's hard
New York
to say Jordan Love's overrated after the year he had last year. And if he takes that next step, and he plays better than he did last year, he's going to be in the top 10 to top 7 and maybe better conversation. So, it's hard to say he's overrated after the season he had last year with really no true number one receiver. As much as I would love to see Jordan Love fail, because I know Vin's rooting for Aaron Rodgers to fail and the Jets to fail.
I mean, Danny, do you know this Paul Miller guy?
Not a clue.
All right, I'm going to be my piece of my mind. Go fuck yourself, Paul Miller.
Wow. He didn't even that was a piece.
Wow.
Honestly, I don't understand.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Subscribe. Don't forget to tune in every week. Finn's a very lovely human being.
Here's the problem with Jordan Love and why people's perception of him is because his best game was against the team people expect to choke. Like, they went into the number 1 seed in the NFC and beat the shit out of them in the playoffs. It's just a fact. I know it's the Cowboys, but it still happened.
He's my 14th round keeper, so I need him to be good.
And like the Cowboys defense last year was 5th in the league in giving up points, and they dropped like 45 on them in 3 quarters.
With ease.
Yeah.
Who did you guys lose to?
The Niners.
They lost to the Niners. Again, it's just...
And Love had a chance to the game-winning drive.
And the worst throw in history.
He threw a terrible interception, but they also should have been tied because the stupid kicker who they finally cut missed the kick when, like, the 2 drives before.
Right.
So, I think they're right there.
I think they... how do you feel about Aaron Jones over, Josh Jacobs over Aaron Jones?
I am slightly worried about that.
Why?
I think Aaron Jones is a better running back, but Josh Jacobs is going to be more available. I think if they both played 16 games, Aaron Jones would have better numbers, but he just never plays up 17 games. He just never plays. He's never on the field. And also locker room wise, Aaron Jones was like the leader of the team. Josh Jacobs is good, and he had one crazy season. Besides that, he's been kind of mediocre, but it's the Raiders, so it's tough to.
Was he your one big offensive addition?
I mean, they don't. Yeah, he was the only. That was the only thing they needed to do. Really, they didn't. Like I said, the receivers they just go through the draft, and they have they go 6 deep.
Who do you have at tight end?
They also drafted 2 of those, Tucker Kraft and Luke Musgrave. They drafted them last year. They both had good rookie seasons.
Musgrave, yes.
Yeah, so it's one of them. Tucker Kraft is more of a traditional tight end. What does that even mean?
Cowboys aren't even in the North, guy.
They're in the East.
He likes the Lions, obviously.
He says it's the Cowgirls. What is? Okay.
Maybe he's saying
Cowgirls, Danny. Doesn't mean that he likes the Lions.
No. He's saying who owns the North right now, the Lions, kissy face, and he's saying it was the Cowgirls that blew it in the playoffs.
Okay. Are we really at the point where Lions fans are talking shit? The Lions?
I mean, Lions are going to be pretty good this year.
They sold out preseason football games. I mean,
they were pretty good last year.
They made the Steelers go on a false start in the fourth quarter of a preseason football game.
I love Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Are very good. They're very talented. I like Dan Campbell. You're not allowed to talk. You've been the worst
Dan
team.
Campbell will bite your knees off. You better watch your mouth.
I said I like him. You can't talk shit if you're a Lions fan. I'm sorry. You just can't.
I mean, if they have a good season again this year, they kind of can.
Okay.
They'd start puffing their chest a little bit, feeling good. But you got to hope Jared Goff is going to be as good as he was last year.
Jared Goff. That's what we're doing.
Well, he was good last year, though. You can't say he wasn't. He was.
Listen, 2-headed running backs.
Jahmyr Gibbs. They finally started using Jahmyr Gibbs a lot more, and he went.
Well, it's good. It's interesting how they're going to use him early on in the year because he rolled his ankle a couple weeks ago.
I'm curious.
So
I'm curious how they use Bijan Robinson this year in the Falcons because I drafted him last year and he did not do anything that well for me.
He sucked. But now they're saying he's going to be a top 5 draft pick in most leagues because of the new offense. Because of
I let him go. I couldn't keep him.
It's too much of a risk.
I kept Breece Hall and I kept Puka Nacua for
11th
or 12th round pick, whatever.
Well, that's why I let David Montgomery walk also because 5th round pick for him for who I think Gibbs eventually, when healthy, is going to start taking over the role as the main guy.
Is Gibbs' main role now.
Right.
They let him have the ball at the end of last season. He was just running wild on everybody. So.
Right. Once he gets healthy, it's going to be him taking. He should be able to take over from Montgomery. Montgomery will still get his moments. Don't get me wrong.
His red zone touches and all that stuff too. But it's going to be the Gibbs show for sure.
They're going to make that transition for the younger kid, so that way they can look to cut Montgomery at the end of the year and get some space.
How do you Giants fans feel about coming up on this year? What's the emotions? What's the feeling like over there in Big Blue Land?
No pressure, baby. These are our favorite years.
Point out Jordan Love went into Detroit and beat them on Thanksgiving. Anyway, that's the last thing I'm going to say.
Still going up Thanksgiving doesn't count.
It's
fuck plays football. Who fuck plays football? Because fuck likes to play football on Thanksgiving.
It's a fact. Anyway,
it's like going to Brazil in week 1. Doesn't mean anything.
So you have no expectations for the Giants this year, obviously, is what you're saying.
Why would you?
Well, I mean, you can't really, unless they went out and drafted a quarterback. But they've drafted Neighbors.
We kind of talked about this last week. If they wanted the quarterback, this was the class to take the quarterback. Like you saw it. Every quarterback was off the board by pick 15. Basically, all the main guys.
Yeah, we had Penix, McCarthy, and who else?
Nix was available.
Nix.
Yeah. I thought for sure you were going to take.
I thought we were going to trade up and get May or Daniel.
Yeah, that was.
I think they would have traded up for May if they were able to, but it seemed like the Patriots were just kind of throwing a smoke.
I mean, which was smart.
I mean, if you were the Patriots and you got blown away with a trade, it's one thing.
If you would have offered them, 2 first-rounders and a couple, or give them a package they can't refuse, sure.
Right.
But I didn't see the Giants doing that.
But it was also them also thinking in the long term of, all right, this is our new guy.
Well, that's what I brought up. I think I brought this up to Danny.
This guy's clearly a Lions fan. I think we win. Lions always lose on Thanksgiving. Even I know that as a Lions fan. We still embarrassed Aaron Rodgers in his last game as a Packer. Okay, hey, we did that for Favre as a Packer too.
I don't have to trash talk Lion fans that much. It's just you root for the Lions. It is what it is. Anyway, I said this talking to them about this last week because I really do think Brian Daboll is a good coach. And Joe Shane seems to know what he's doing as GM. If I were them, I would have taken a quarterback and been like, this is our guy. We just extended our life in our jobs another 3 years.
I think the Giants could be just good enough to play themselves out of a top pick for a quarterback next year. And the draft class next year isn't even supposed to be that good when it comes to quarterbacks. So you would have to get like
Are you drafting
the number 1 or number 2 players? You would have to have a top 2 pick to get.
But there's always that one quarterback in college that no one thinks about, and then oh my god, like Jaden, and then
but
Burrow a couple years.
Well, Burrow went
people expected Jaden to be good, but they didn't expect him to be Heisman Trophy 2nd overall pick good.
Right.
Because remember, he went through the portal. He transferred out of Arizona State.
I don't think the Giants are going to have the number 1 and number 2 pick.
No, I don't. We're going to be okay. We're going to be mid like we always are.
I could see you guys winning 5-6 games.
Yeah, that's the ballpark.
With the roster, with Daniel Jones probably not being healthy.
The over-under is 6.5. So
I would say 5 or 6 games is what you're going to win this year.
The over-under is
Malik Neighbors will be good. You'll be excited to watch him play.
Yeah, he's going to basically be our Garrett Wilson this year.
So you'll be excited to watch him play and run around and stuff. But
what about Hyatt?
We'll see more.
He's just
going to be their deep threat. Really.
Yeah, like I need to see him be able to run more routes. I think Slayton. Okay. I think Slayton's going to beat him out as the number 2 guy. Honestly, unless Hyatt finally learns how to run other routes.
Okay.
I've been vocal about it. I like Wandell, so Wandell's going to be that guy with 90 catches for like 700 yards.
Sure, yeah, he's going to be.
Your problem's going to be the offensive line because
we just need them to be mildly better than what it was.
Andrew Thomas is going to be very good, but the rest of that offensive line, I feel like, is a very big question mark.
Yeah,
I mean, Runyon's he's fine. Like he's not great, he's fine.
And Evan Neal shouldn't even see the field, to be honest.
He isn't.
I'm surprised he made the team.
No, he has 3 years left, and shut up.
Evan Neal's
this is year 3 for him, so he's only got 1 year left.
Well, 1 year left. They're not going to pick it up.
They're not picking up the
option. Evan Neal got toasted by a dude on the Jets that was considered like the 4th string lineman and made him look like.
I literally got the alert that said guy runs around Evan Neal. Yeah, and I was like, oh, well, he's in midseason form.
Evan Neal made that dude look like Max Crosby. It was
he literally needs to learn guard ASAP and just.
They already announced he's the right tackle. Dable today said he's a right tackle. They have too many guards on the team. They need him at tackle.
Well, then
you're in trouble. You're in trouble.
No,
he's not going to. He's not starting. He's not playing.
He's going to be he's going to be in the swing tackle.
He signed a dude from the Raiders.
I don't see it going well for Daniel Jones this year. I'm telling you. I know you guys.
So the early Walter football draft next year has the Broncos taking Sanders at 1. So basically saying Bo Nix is a bust.
That's not going to happen.
I don't think that's going to happen.
And then the Giants taking Travis Hunter at Giants going Travis Hunter at 4.
He fits Peyton's. He fits Peyton's style of offense. So
I don't.
Yeah, but is that on the list of teams that
I don't think they're going to be that bad.
Deion said you're not allowed to play on because
he's going to the Cowboys.
I'm telling you right now.
That's why Dax hasn't been re-signed.
This is what's going to happen. The Giants are going to win 5 or 6 games. They're going to draft another lineman, and you guys are going to go out and get Dak Prescott. That's your quarterback next year.
I don't hate it.
That's your quarterback.
Don't hate it.
And honestly,
again, he's on the Cowboys,
but that's quarterback you had since Eli.
I would buy the jersey ASAP.
Might be better.
Telling you, that's what's going to happen. You're going to get Dak Prescott next year.
I just still don't think the Giants are going to invest in a $60 million quarterback at the level of where the team's at.
Well, then I mean, I guess you kind of have to look at it from Joe Shane and Dable's perspective.
Well, yeah, it's the swan song for both of them if they're
if whoever they choose a quarterback next is going to have to hit. And do you take the one that you know in Dak Prescott, or do you roll the dice?
No, I
pick in the first
I
round?
agree with that.
Or you make the call up to Buffalo and be like, hey, he sucked this year, but we want our guy back.
I don't think Buffalo's giving him up. Josh Allen.
Josh Allen? You crazy?
I don't see Josh Allen going anywhere.
No.
They'd be dumb to let him go.
He's a god up there.
You've gotten too close to making the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but you just traded his number one receiver. You got rid of him.
But
what does he have over there now? It's basically hey, prove you're a number one quarterback now. You have no weapon. You basically have. You let Davis walk. You let Gabriel Davis walk. His favorite receiver.
I think we can say that Josh Allen's probably a top 3 quarterback in the league.
At least 5.
At least 5. At the lowest 5.
Lowest 5.
But you can make the argument that he's top 3 with Mahomes, and you can mix and match between Mahomes, Burrow, Lamar, Allen, and
I see those 4. I like Herbert a lot, but I think it's those 4. So let's go.
I think those are the big 4. I think you would have to back up the Brinks truck in draft picks to get Josh Allen.
Yeah, that's not happening.
You would be giving up multiple firsts, multiple seconds. Like you were giving up your whole future for Josh Allen.
Whole draft. I mean, it's not. But like we said, whoever their next guy is, they get one more guy. I mean, I assume they're going to get
unless the wheels completely fall off, they're getting another guy.
Well,
it's going to be Dak or a draft pick. That's
what is the wheels completely falling off? What does that look
like? Know what I mean? Like if they didn't fight back last season and just
if they run a QB sneak from their own 1 yard line.
Well, yeah, that's epically
okay. Yeah. Like that, I'm saying. I don't mean
like that cost him. That cost Joe.
That cost him his job. Yeah, and he just punted.
And then the 20-minute press conference of him defending himself the week before.
If they just ran a normal play, it's not as bad.
Your 2 best options next year are going to be if Dak Prescott goes to free agency, it's going to be him, or you have to draft somebody around number 10 and hope that you find your quarterback through that way.
Right, and honestly, as much as like it's going to be interesting to see, like the Giants aren't ready to pay a guy that much money.
The other thing is Josh Allen. There was a little bit of hype coming out of the combine with him, Wyoming, right? So when you look at next year's draft class, quarterback wise, is there a Wyoming quarterback that they like? Wyoming type, like the school nobody watches. Like Danny said earlier, there's always those 2 or 3 quarterbacks that nobody talks about, and then combine comes around, then poof.
Yeah, like Zach Wilson.
Right.
We see those guys every year, and most of the time they turn out to be busts.
No, I'm talking about in season. I'm not talking about a guy at the combine or at a pro day. Like
I know, but I'm saying if they're going to be a top 5 pick and they're going to look at
craziest throw in shorts, and everybody's like, "Oh my god, we got to draft him."
Listen, maybe draft the guy, and we just sit back and wait for Archie to come out.
He needs to play a real game in college first.
Yeah. You kind of want to see him play one real game before you start being like, yeah, let's wait for him.
I'm
shocked.
Drew
Brees wrote an article for something that said he needs to stay in Texas for 5 years.
I'm shocked that he didn't leave.
Yeah, I don't know why.
It's the money. Where was he gonna go to make the money? Is the question.
Doesn't he want to play? His last name is Manning. He doesn't need any money.
I'm sure he could have went to Dart's there, but he could have went to Old Miss, and Tennessee has a different offense, so he probably wouldn't want to be there. Even though he would light it up.
Publicly said he doesn't want to go to either of those schools. He just doesn't want to.
USC. He could have went to Ohio State. He could have went wherever he wanted.
Well, he's staying in the South. We know that.
I mean, the conferences don't exist anymore, so.
What's the difference? Either North or South. Pick a level.
Could have went to Florida.
So basically, the quarterbacks that are going to be coming out next year that are projected to be
Sanders
the top 3 is Carson Beck out of Georgia,
Yep.
Shadur Sanders in Colorado, and Quinn Ewers in Texas.
Quinn Ewers at Texas, which I
And
don't
then
hate what I've seen from
Jalen Milroe in Alabama,
He has to do a lot this year.
Drew Allar in Penn State,
Can't draft Penn State quarterbacks. We're out on that.
and Connor Wedman, Texas A&M.
Yeah, my friend mentioned him.
I don't know him.
So that'd be
He's
your
all
top 5 that are projected. Now, somebody can obviously have a big season, and
Milroe doesn't throw the ball.
That's
good
what
enough.
you're looking at as a Giants fan.
Yeah.
For
As
next
of
year.
August, I'm not concerned about the draft for next season yet. I mean,
the fact we're even talking about it is not great.
Everyone's like draft. We did this 10 times with Eli as the quarterback, and then we
Daniel
never
Jones
had.
Not the answer.
Just
I know
stupid.
he's not I'm not saying he's the answer. I'm just saying that in August, going into a season,
To be honest,
Giant fans don't talk about the draft for next season. They worry
Daniel
about.
Jones should have been out after last year. He should have been gone.
Yeah, I mean it's tough.
He came off his best year as a pro, and then he tore his ACL, so you can't really just cut the guy because of that. It's not fair to cut the guy because he comes off his best year and then tears
His best year as a
ACL.
pro.
Yeah,
Was
best year as a pro is under 20 touchdowns thrown though. Like he didn't come off like a 35 touchdown, 10 interception type season. He came off a season where you guys went to the playoffs with it, and he was fine. He didn't. He wasn't a reason why you lost games. He was the reason, but he also wasn't the reason why you have won all the time.
Well, he played very well in the Viking playoff game that they won.
Sure.
And I think he kind of got the contract for that.
Basically.
Yeah, I mean he played very well that day, and he just did.
Yeah, no, I have no.
McKinney.
Yeah, what about that?
You paid McKinney because of his big play on 4th down with one hand.
We're gonna miss McKinney so much.
They played McKinney because he played every fucking snap, and he's a really good player. I mean, this is a very different thing than Daniel Jones.
No, yeah, but he also made the play at the end of the
I'm
Viking game.
gonna miss McKinney.
McKinney's gonna be the guy they miss the most of the guys they lost this offseason.
Looking forward to watching him
until we watch Saquon run for like 15
But
minutes.
that's going to be a given, though.
But nobody expects that. If you don't run that well in Philadelphia, you're a bust because they build their line to run the football.
Well, they're also missing a big piece out of
if
their
he
line.
goes there and he has a terrible year, he's a bust. He's an
They're missing the captain of that line now in Kelsey.
They're not missing it. They're not missing anything. He wouldn't have retired.
He's such a huge.
They would have begged for him back if they didn't feel comfortable.
I think he was done though. He was saying. I remember him saying.
Yeah, he wanted to retire if they won the
podcast.
Super Bowl. Yeah, he wanted to retire.
He only came back last year if they won't because he thought they were going to win the Super Bowl, but they didn't. So he retired this year.
He was saying that he was going home with so many lingering injuries and shit like that he was just done. He was done doing it.
He said it. He's groomed the next guy up enough.
He was
where
never
felt comfortable to leave him. So,
but like,
I don't think that. I think their offensive line is going to be fine without him.
Their offensive line is probably going to be fine.
The offensive line has Mekhi Becton, so let's not say that.
Well,
let's not say that.
Well, he's
they have Lane Johnson is very good.
No, he's going to start.
And the guy that's taking over
Lane
Kelsey's
Johnson's
place.
tackle is very good.
The guy that's taken over Kelsey's place played guard, and he was groomed for Kelsey's job for the last.
Sure, but I don't think he'll ever be Kelsey.
The quarterback and the head coach don't like each other.
I hope they suck. I
think they're going to be. I don't know if they're going to suck. I think they're going to be a 500 team. I think Sirianni's getting fired.
Right.
That's my thing. My one, I'm not even sure if it's a hot take. I think it is because of how talented they are. I think the Eagles are going to be not great.
I don't know about that. That offense.
They'll be fine.
Now the offensive line is not going to be as good as last year, in my opinion. But
I
don't think it's going to be as bad to where you're saying to where.
Saquon's still going to be like, what is this?
You still have AJ Brown, Devonta Smith, Saquon Barkley. Got it.
How much space do you have in Jalen Hurts?
Listen,
I have enough to know that they're not going to finish 500.
Okay. I don't know. We'll see.
He did have 15 rushing touchdowns last year.
He's a great dual threat. I don't have faith in him.
They ran into the problem that is the Jets. They lost, and then from there, their season went to crap.
But that's the thing. Their season went so bad, and they lost a game to the Niners. They lost a game to the Cowboys. Like this is the
Well,
cream
the
of crop.
Niners,
They
the
didn't lose to
Niners
the
game,
terrible
the
teams,
Niner,
though.
the Niners game was the turning point of their season.
Right, but they lost to the Cowboys. They lost to the Niners. But they didn't just lose. They got demolished, and then they weren't. It wasn't even close in that playoff game.
Oh, the
against Tampa.
playoff game was
They got
embarrassing.
wiped. The floor
and-
wiped with them.
You're forgetting Drew Lock beating them on Monday Night Football.
Well, that's the thing. They lost to Seattle without Geno, and then they lost to the fucking Cardinals. Like that end of that season was a disaster. So I don't think it's just a bounce right back.
But the offense was still playing well in those games.
It was. Their defense stunk, and they got Vic Fangio. Vic Fangio is a great coach. So
Yeah.
I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. I'm not sold on the Eagles.
All right, where you guys want to take this to now?
Green Bay, Wisconsin,
Do
Vincent.
we?
It's where you are right now.
It
Your
is-
back.
that's right.
Wild card.
I mean, yeah, I think they're gonna.
They'll get in. It gives you that. You got the extra wild card spot.
I think they're definitely gonna. I was gonna say, do I think they're gonna win the division? No, we had this Lions conversation. I legitimately think the Lions are good, and I think the Lions probably win the division. But I think we're a 10-win team at least. I like what they've done with the defense. They got a new defensive coordinator. The last guy stunk horribly. They're apparently going to be a lot more aggressive, which is especially their secondary, adding McKinney. Their corners are more built to be a little more aggressive than they played a lot of drop zone kind of nonsense, which a lot of people play. I get it, but pass rush, they switched also to a 4-3, so it's a lot less of Gary and Preston Smith having to drop into coverage at times. It's just put your hand in the ground and let's go. So I'm expecting a big year at Rashawn Gary. I'm hoping for a big year at Rashawn Gary. And like I said, their offense, like if you're looking at it like almost fantasy wise, and what receiver to take, their offense is very matchup based. It's like Jaden Reed in the slot is going to get a lot of looks in sets, where that's the weakness of the defense. If they need to go over the top, it's Christian Watson. Dontavian Wicks is the fourth guy, and he's kind of like, I guess, more of a possession guy. And then Romeo Doubs, same thing. So it's like I mentioned the tight ends running the ball when they have to. They have a lot they can do where you aren't going to be really able to hone in on one thing. I mean, like I said, I think it's a 10-11 win team at least. And, Jordan Love takes another step and is a little more consistent. Sky's the limit. And also the NFC is kind of, Dev already mentioned the issues the Niners are having right now.
Oh, the NFC is wide open right now.
It's wide open. The Cowboys took a major step back, I think, personnel-wise. The Lions are still going to be good. The Lions probably got better. Probably the one team that got better. Or like most better is not a phrase, but significantly better. Improved the most. Thank you, Steve. And the South is kind of, nobody cares about it. It's just like Kirk Cousins is going to win a division and then lose in the first round. Yep. Nobody cares. I think they're a contender in the conference. I really do. I would love to see a Jets-Packers Super Bowl. I think it'd be great.
Me and Vin would not be talking.
No, that's 2 weeks that we can't watch a game at the same place. Sorry, can't do.
There's worse things than you guys arguing.
It's true.
No, I don't think there is.
I don't think me and Vin ever really seriously argued like Super Bowl. Me and Vin are gonna be enemies. There's not gonna be it's not gonna be a friendly game between me and him. Where do we shit talking each other the whole game?
Yeah, we might actually have to do that. Watch it.
We'll just have to stream it and just me and you just sitting there just cursing each other out all day. Because that's exactly.
Vin's not really good at streaming games and watching them. He tried that with the Atlanta playoff game a couple years ago in Atlanta.
It was supposed to be a time lapse.
Oh yeah, we were gonna watch his reactions to everything, and he literally went dead after 5 minutes of the game.
were down 21-0. Like
should have did it for the Seattle game the year before.
no, we
That's
don't
what.
talk about
That's why I need a Seattle moment with him.
that.
Oh my god.
I'll never get over that. I'll be honest.
Let me tell you something. If the Jets win the Super Bowl, I'm going to be unbearable. I'm going to be unbearable.
Oh my god.
I can't even imagine. It would.
You
I'd be
and
in
the
tears.
Lions.
Seriously, I would cry.
Poverty franchise is just.
I would absolutely cry. I could die happy.
The NFL may die if the fucking Lions and Jets play in the Super Bowl against each other.
That could be a matchup. It's very possible.
It is very possible. I'm not saying it's not, but they would literally probably be like, "Yeah, no, we're just gonna skip this year's Super Bowl."
It would be great. I mean, the Super Bowl, the matchup doesn't really matter ratings wise, but I think it would get a bump having obviously a New York team and a
If the Jets made the
two-star
Super
fan
Bowl,
base.
it would be one of the most watched Super Bowls in the last 10 years.
I mean, I don't. Again, I'd be curious. to go
Ratings
back
wise,
and
you
look.
get the people to watch it.
That's
Doesn't
what I'm
matter.
saying.
who's
I
in it.
don't know if they fluctuate. I think it just goes up and up and up and up.
Right.
Like-
It's a huge ratings hit. And not only would it be a New York market, but you're also getting a very polarizing figure in Aaron Rodgers. And he's searching for that another ring, which is going to put him in the conversation and even higher.
I mean, it's the Super Bowl now, and they count all the streaming now. So yeah.
If he's the guy that goes to the Jets and like slays the dragon and wins them a Super Bowl,
Mark Messier.
I mean, he would be a god. He would be a god in New York. He would never pay for a meal again here. He would go walk around and have the biggest balls in New York. Like he would be a god. He would own the city.
Yeah. I guess it does fluctuate. I'm looking at it now. Last year's was the highest it's been since.
I mean, 2 years ago should have been high too.
2 years ago it has the average viewers is 99 million, which is really basically 100 million is a bit like the line for a high one, and it was under. I'm surprised. I don't know. I mean,
Especially
I know
with
it was
Philly
great
in a good game.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That 2 years ago was good. 3 years ago was bad.
Yeah, that was the Rams one.
And last year, I know people don't like to admit it, but they got the Taylor Swift kick.
Oh, 100%. 120
Well, yeah,
million
well, the
100%.
Taylor Swift kick and the good game.
You had so many
Great.
people. You had so many more people and more eyes on the TV that normally probably wouldn't watch football. That
the
are
Bucks
Taylor Swift fans that sat there and bumped that rating up a huge amount too.
The Rams Bengals one was probably meh too.
Yeah, it was just under 100 million. The Buck Chief one that was a blowout was bad. The
Yeah, but that was because it was a blowout.
right. The Ram Patriot one that was kind of boring was bad. Outside, it's basically.
Oh,
over
that was
100.
the worst. We're very spoiled. That was the worst Super Bowl in a very long time.
It's basically 100 million people every year since 2010, except for those couple.
Yeah, that Ram
So
Patriot.
it fluctuates a little bit, but not too much.
That was like the '90s Super Bowl run we had in the '90s.
Yeah.
Just the Bills getting blown out every year, and then the Chargers getting blown out by the Niners.
Yeah.
And then after the Niners Charger one was good, and then the Giant Raven one, and then the Bucks Raiders one was bad. Then we snapped into it.
Then the Patriot ones were all good games. That's the other.
Yeah, because they were all close and
They were
one
all
at the
close
last
games.
second either way.
Fuck the Patriots.
Like
I'm so glad they're terrible now.
Like Vinatieri's going in the Hall of Fame next year.
Drake May, maybe.
Watch
He's
them
not
be.
even starting. Which we didn't
I know,
see.
they're
Yeah,
starting
what's
for
the
that.
point? What's the point?
Yeah, I don't know why they're starting Brissett.
You might as well just
I
let
mean,
him take his bumps, man.
Maybe they're gonna let him ease in. I guess which could be smart.
Probably is smart in the long run, but like, come on.
Give the people what they want.
If we're gonna watch a sucky team,
What happened?
Oh, thought I heard somebody.
I thought I heard something too. I was hoping to see snacks and then leave.
Yeah, the screen did a thing.
I was looking at the Patriots schedule because it's like, when can they put them in? I think they play the Niners after their bye, so it's not really the best. Like
You
usually,
can't
that's
really do that to him.
Yeah,
First
you
game
don't
in the NFL. You go give them
kinda
the
wanna do
Niners.
that.
That's crazy.
Hey, welcome to the league. Don't get hit by Joey Bosa.
No, it's okay. So they play the Jets on Thursday night, and then they play the Niners. So I think it was like, do you want to give them the mini bye? Was what I was thinking. But it looks like their bye is pretty late.
Yeah, you're gonna have to put them in for like a.
Yeah, their
sophomore.
bye is week 14, so you're gonna have to just throw them in.
Who do
if
they
you
play
want.
around like week 5 or 6? Between 5 and 8. Who do they play?
Why is it not? They play the Dolphins week 5, the Texans week 6, and then the Jags week 7.
Jags would probably be the landing spot.
Yeah, and then they play the Jets, and then the Titans. Maybe throw them against the Titans. But they have a pretty tough schedule.
They're
Bears,
going to be
Rams.
bad this year, dude.
Yeah,
They're going
it's
to win
not-
like 3 or 4 games. That's it.
The Colts.
They're going to have another top pick next year, and they're going to draft
Yeah, this is rough.
a weapon for Drake May or something, or a lineman, something.
They're playing the Chargers week 17. What do we think of the Chargers?
They're so fraudulent. I want to believe in them all the time, and I just because I like Justin Herbert.
They're
They've
He
lost
traded away all the
everybody
weapons for him.
Who's their weapon?
Harbaugh's gonna get it cooking halfway through the season, but they're gonna be the Chargers this year at least.
But who's
So
their
they-
weapons now? You got no Keenan Allen. You got
No, I
Mike-
know. I agree. I agree with you. It's gonna be
You lost a lot.
Their
It's gonna
top
be a-
2 receivers are Joshua Palmer and DJ Chark.
yeah, it's rough.
And they
Yeah,
drafted Lab
not great.
McConkey.
And their defense is not very good.
Nope.
No, I mean, they have Bosa and Mack are still there.
Bosa
Right, but
is
after that-
still hurt.
They'll
You
get
really
some
have
pressure.
nothing.
Bosa's only there till the contract's at the
And
up at the
Derwin
end of the
James
year,
is
and then he's
good.
going to go to San Francisco for
Derwin
no
James
money.
also always
Derwin
hurt too.
James, Sante Samuel Jr., like, they have some talent. It's the same thing as always. They have talent, but they never.
It's the Chargers. They're the.
I don't
Chargers
see the
every
Chargers
year.
making the playoffs this year. I don't.
It ain't happening in that.
As
division.
good as Justin Herbert is, I don't see it. I think the team around him is not good enough.
But I think, like, who do they have running the ball? Because that's what they're going to do. It's Gus
No,
Edwards and
Eckler's
J.K. Dobbins. They just took the Ravens' backfield.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
the Ravens.
So they're
It's
used
the
to
Ravens.
running. Those two are used to getting a lot of carries, and that's what they're going to do. He's just
Mm-hmm.
going to run it down people's throat, and they're going to lose 13-10. And it's what it's going to do. He does turn things around pretty quickly, though, in, Harbaugh. He tends to do that.
Yeah, Chargers will win 8 or 9 games, but I don't think they make playoffs.
$80 million. Sure, he's not concerned about
I mean, he
this
does-
season.
He's got.
If he
his
wasn't
pick.
concerned about the season, he would have taken a year off.
Yep.
Anyway,
Let's go into picks.
Do it.
Where's this thing? All right, Snack said he's going to send it to me later. For his.
Wow, shocking. Snacks flakes out.
sounds like a guy who can't handle the pressure.
Sounds like a guy that knows his team's not going to be very good this year and doesn't want to face
Yeah.
the music. That's what it sounds like to me.
I agree. Sounds like a guy who doesn't want to defend his baseball team either.
Yeah, I know. They lost again to the Nats. That's fine.
Is that game over?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they lost 5-2.
I just shut it off because it was on
Look,
fucking
Patrick
Amazon.
Corbin. Anyway,
You know what?
Guy took 5 months to win 3 games.
I don't want to hear it from the Mets fans right now.
no, I'm just listen.
The
Just
grimace
saying.
magic wore off, and you tried to sit
You're
there.
just jealous because
You
we
tried
got
to
hot
bring on
Tua
the
now
hot tour
too.
girl on, and that didn't work.
They
You're
beat
just
the Orioles.
jealous. Absolutely
We
jealous.
tried to help you beating the Orioles.
Then, well, you did. You beat them twice.
Yeah.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
All right, so we're starting out with the NFC East.
So Deb, did you at least feel bad on Sunday for the guy who had a pitch to the 3 of them?
No.
Even my coworker was like, I feel kind of bad for him. They just kept letting him pitch these 3 and boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom.
They're unbelievable when they're all 3 in the lineup. It's just like if Stanton can be just what he was before he got injured, that's a tough 3 to pitch to.
It's a
Back
tough
to back.
4 if Glaber's hitting too.
Well, that's the thing.
Which
If
never happens.
if Glaber's hitting is the
Austin Wells was doing good though.
Austin Wells was really killing the ball in the 4 spot. I almost didn't want to move him from there. I wanted to put Stanton at like 5. But
Anywho, NFC East. Who we got?
Eagles. Nah, go Dallas. They snapped. They snapped the.
That was quick.
he's like, nah, never mind.
Yeah, I went to Cowboys.
No, the
I'm
Cowboys
going
gonna.
Cowboys too.
The Cowboys are gonna snap the record of different team winning the division.
All right, I forgot that's a thing.
I'm gonna go with the Eagles.
Okay,
Vincent.
Cowboys.
Assuming we're all growing Lions here, right?
Yeah, I'll go Lions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna do Lions also.
I'm honest.
No, unless
Paul.
like their entire offense like tears their ACL in the next week. There's no reason why.
Right. South, I will be going the Falcons.
I'm gonna say nobody wins this division.
Can we do
Fuck
that?
it. Like
Nobody
nobody's
can-
allowed to win this division.
Somebody said, like, one of the hot take people were like, "Oh, the Panthers are going to be sneaky." The Panthers.
I'm gonna go Falcons also to win the division. Bucks are gonna make the playoffs, but the Falcons are gonna win
Ooh.
the division.
Yeah, no, give me the Falcons. Kirk is at least decent.
I'll go Bucks. Screw it. I'll be different.
Great. Yeah, because this is going to be kind of chalk. Like, yeah, I mean, just the Niners.
49ers.
Can't. Yeah, I just can't.
So you can't go against them. There's no way.
Okay. AFC East. I'm gonna go with the
Dolphins.
Dolphins. Yeah,
Same.
Miami.
But they are so fraudulent.
Really?
Once November. I don't.
Give me,
The Bills have.
give me the Bills.
The Bills are going to be in a quick rebuild this year, but they'll still be good.
Give me the Bills.
I don't think he has enough weapons over there.
Well,
Come on, Dev. Do it. Do it,
Do it.
Dev.
himself.
Do it, Dev.
Do it. Fucking do it.
You want to do it. So do it, Dev.
You
I
wanna
do,
do it.
'cause you know what it is? I don't trust Tua.
Neither do I.
Trust him. I don't trust Tua, and I
They
don't
got
think the
ravaged
Bills-
with injuries last year. They
I
were
don't
going
think the
to
Bills
do it.
win more than 9 games this year.
Come on, Dev. Say it. Say it out loud, Dev.
Oh, fuck it. Give me the Jets.
Oh, gee. We had to twist your arm.
What I think is the best division in the game, but Ravens are going to win this division. I can't trust Burrow to stay healthy all year yet.
Give me Slim Shady and give me the Cincinnati Bengals.
I'm with you, Steve. Derrick Henry with Lamar, forget it.
Give me the Bengals.
Oh,
Derrick Henry, he's gonna be good, but it could be one of those things where he's washed before we knew he was washed.
but he's not washed.
This
But yeah, I
division
get-
could
I don't
literally
think he
go
is.
to any one of those
Right.
teams.
It can't go to
If
the
Lamar
Steelers.
gets hurt, they're losing the division. If
They can't
Burrow
go to
gets
the
hurt, they're
Steelers.
losing the division.
It's not the Steelers.
Steelers,
Browns,
Steelers
maybe.
are going 10 and whatever anyway. Because
No, Joe Flacco did get them to the playoffs.
That's what I'm
Right,
saying. And Deshaun was like 4-1 when he played. He kind of stinks, but
another shit division.
It's going to be the Texans.
yeah, it has. Yeah, it's gotta be the Texans.
Yeah.
Casey.
Yeah, the Chiefs.
God damn.
Yeah, 100%.
So chalk.
But who are the what was the commercial? The guy paints to the fucking end zone. Oh, but who are the chefs?
Oh yeah, who are the chefs? Yeah, with Andy Reid. Yep. All right, this is where we can get crazy a little bit. The wild card team.
All right, give your 3 wild card teams. All right, I'll start.
Go first. Yeah.
Okay. This isn't in any specific order. I just listed it as 1, 2, and 3 because it's just easier. It doesn't necessarily mean this is the actual order. So I'm gonna go Packers. Bucks. I'm gonna go Tampa Bay. And I'm gonna go with the Eagles.
Okay. I'm
The
going.
outside team would be Seattle for me.
Okay.
Because who knows what team is going to do.
I'm going Packers, Eagles, and trying to think. Hold on. I'll go Seahawks.
Packers, Rams.
Yeah, the Rams and Seahawks are going to go neck and neck. Those were the two teams.
Give me the Bucks as the last one. Eagles are missing the playoffs.
You ready for this, Ben? Packers?
Go ahead. It's okay. Okay.
I thought you weren't going to put the. You said that like you were going to put the Packers in the playoffs. No. Like
Packers, Rams, and the Bears.
Okay. Ooh. I can see the Bears, another team that's going to cause trouble.
Yeah, they're going to be that team.
I think they're going to be really good offensively for some reason.
I said to coworker, the Bears and Washington are going to be those two teams that don't win a lot of games, but you don't want to play.
I think Caleb Williams is going to be pretty damn good coming out the gate. I
don't know if it's going to be right away, but he's going to do some things that
he's crafty. So what I saw him in preseason and everything, like just some of the throws he makes, you're like, okay, that's a great throw. Like there's nothing you just say, I don't care who you're playing against, that's a great throw. I think with DJ Moore and they got Keenan Allen and they drafted the kid Rome Aduns.
I like Rome. It's gonna you're right. They're gonna be dangerous.
They're gonna be dangerous. If Caleb Williams is who people think he is, I could see them winning 10 games this year.
Similar to the
getting into
Eagles,
the playoffs.
Though I think their coach stinks. Like I think their coach is gonna lose them a couple games and then he's gonna get fired.
Well, I think what helps them though is that the NFC is so wide open, in my opinion.
100%. Yeah, we said it. It's, you know.
But yeah,
it's really like I said. Like the Lions are the one team. Lions and the Niners are the two teams I'm confident in. But when it's the Lions, it's like it could always. The other shoe could always drop with the Lions. I don't think it will, but it's just. And the Niners, like we said, Trent Williams, Ayuk, is Purdy real? Does McCaffrey stay healthy? It's a whole
right.
Anyway, AFC. Dev, you want to start? We'll go back down the line.
Yeah. So I have the Dolphins, the Ravens, and the Bills.
Ravens. Jets. And I guess I'll throw the Dolphins in that last one. Although I don't really like Tua, but they're going to win enough games early and against bad teams to get in the last spot. And then they'll get rolled over when they have to go to like Cincinnati or something.
Yeah, when they play outdoor in the cold or something.
Like last year with the Chiefs ending as the number 2 seed, they had to go right there.
Right, one of those kind of things.
Jets, Bills, and Bengals.
Yeah, is there honestly besides the teams we've mentioned in the AFC, is there anybody that he's even going to like?
The Jags could surprise us.
Oh, the Jags. Okay, it's really.
I was going to say the Jags would be one of my wild card teams.
Year two of the Colts could surprise people.
If Richardson stays healthy, then yeah, they can definitely.
They almost made it with Minshew. So.
There's somebody out west, probably not the Raiders. Maybe
definitely not the Raiders. So.
No, not the Broncos. We don't think the Chargers. We kind of said that already.
Yeah. All right. NFC Championship game.
Now you're making me
think about it. I think we're going to end up with a rematch from last season. But I think it's going to be flipped. Where it's going to be in Detroit this year. Which will give them the advantage. What? I think they're gonna end up. Yeah, I don't. For some reason, I can see the Niners doing one of their slip ups in the middle of the season,
Well, they did last year.
where they lose a bunch of games
That's why they
plus
weren't the
with
one seed.
Ayuk. But they're still gonna end up winning the game.
Okay.
The Niners will still end up winning the game. Danny?
I am gonna go. I'm going Niners. Cowboys. The Cowboys' last dance.
Cowboys win or Cowboys lose?
I'm gonna go Niners win again.
Vincent?
Packers, Niners.
I knew you were going to do it. I knew you were going to do it.
Are you gonna lose that game again in
Nope.
San Francisco like you always do?
Nope. Not this time.
Brock
What
Purdy's
is-
not gonna run by Rashad Gary.
He can't. He doesn't run.
That's what you think.
I'm also going to do Lions, Niners.
Wait, this is a randomness, but I'm watching the Met game, so that's why I'm going to say it. Because if it was the other way around, I'd be annoyed. Are you annoyed, Devin, that Luis Severino's good again? Or you don't really care?
Wait till we pay him, then ask him the question.
Well,
When we pay him and he misses
So-
half the season next year, he won't care.
So this is my thinking on it. No, it doesn't bother me.
Okay.
Because I don't think he would have done that here. So I don't think it would have mattered then. I just don't think. I think he ran his course as a Yankee. Okay. I think the only way he would have stuck as a Yankee and been productive is if he would have came out of the bullpen. Because I think he was electric out of the bullpen when he came in, after his arm injuries and stuff, where he was able to just let 101 miles an hour fly. And I thought he was electric out of the bullpen. And I always said that I thought if starting pitching never worked out for him, he'd be a great bullpen on. So I think the only way he would have stuck with the Yankees and been something would have been out of the bullpen. So
it's like you had wrote him off. He could have went to the Mets.
I was already
whatever.
done at that point.
Matter.
He was he looked so lost out there. I don't think he was ever going to figure it out here.
Yeah, I don't.
So.
Yeah. All right. Well, there goes that.
Dev, who'd you have winning? The Niners?
The Lions.
Just trying to cause anarchy all over the place, Steph.
Mm-hmm.
All right. AFC?
The AFC Championship game is going to be the Cincinnati Bengals and the Kansas City Chiefs.
Who's coming out of it?
I think the Bengals end up coming out of it. I just think this is going to be the year Burrow comes out, and I think they're going to be
he might win MVP.
They're winning everything, I think, in my opinion. I think it's the Bengals' year. Just solely based
Chase
on
thing
Joe
scares
Burrow.
me.
Solely based on Joe Burrow just showing up looking like Slim Shady.
I just love Joe Burrow.
He's Joe Cool, man. He's just out there, he's the guy. I don't know. I feel like he's going to have the Chiefs can't win every year. I know we said it about the Patriots when they were winning all the time, but I feel like they need a year break, and then next year they'll probably win it. The year after they'll win it again. But I think this coming year, it's going to be the Bengals that take it.
I'm going to say the Chiefs and the Texans sneak in, but the Chiefs win the game.
I'm going KC beating the Bills.
So we're all pretty. I mean, they've gone to the AFC Championship game in every year of his career. So it's
Right.
hard to.
There's
pick
no
that
reason
they
why
won't
he's
do it
not
again.
going back.
Right. They didn't get any worse. Now,
Now I'm gonna
No.
say Chiefs. I'm gonna go Chiefs Ravens, and the Ravens
Okay.
are gonna pull it off.
it's at
Okay.
some point that Kelsey drops off,
Right.
and is that now? I don't know. Rashid Rice is he going to
We're
get
waiting for
suspended?
Kelsey to have
Probably.
that Gronk moment where he kind of just, had
Right.
Gronk years in Tampa, basically. That's what you're looking for.
I'm going Kansas City with the 3-peat. First team ever to do it.
Vin, Devin.
Yeah.
Being a homer.
Wow.
Give me him.
What a little bitch.
Give me him. It's the one team in my life I can be relatively confident and boisterous about. So I'm doing it. Because when I pick the Mets to do things, people's arms fall off and stadiums blow up.
I'm doing Bengals, Lions, obviously, and I'm going to say the Bengals take it.
I like that.
I'm gonna say this is the year. You guys keep saying that these last rides for these guys. This is that Niners last ride. Ayuk's gonna show up. Just because there's no deal to be made. He's gonna have a big year. They're gonna win it this year. But then you'll see guys like McCaffrey will finally fall off. Kittle will fall off.
Agent, or like he's
McCaffrey?
like cuttable, or he's like his contract is like cuttable at the end of the year if it's not. I don't know. Somebody was talking about.
Well, I don't think they're gonna cut him at the end of the year.
Well, it's like if he starts to drop, or if he's not, they give him the ball a lot. The injuries come back, and worst case kind of thing.
All right. NFL MVP. I know everyone's going to be thinking, oh, Patty Mahomes. I'm going to throw it out there. CJ's going to win it.
I don't hate that for my
Don't hate
fantasy
it.
team.
CJ Stroud this year.
I'm going to be everyone. Oh, Patrick Mahomes.
You know what? He probably should have won it last year, so I'm going to just go nuts because I don't want to say Mahomes and I don't want to say Burrow because Devin's going to say it. Dak.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Dak.
That's a good one.
He should have won. He could have won it last year. His numbers are good enough.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I will be saying Joe Burrow as your NFL.
We're being different.
Okay, offensive player of the year.
I almost want to give the Jets something.
I was about to say, is Garrett going to win it?
No, I think it's going to be Breece Hall.
Ooh.
I think Breece Hall is going to get so many receptions out of the backfield this year that he's just going to put up some really big numbers, and I just want to give the Jets something. So I'm going to say Breece Hall.
Vin?
I kind of just want to be crazy again. I'm going to go. I feel like they never give it to a receiver. I'm going to go. I'm on Ross St. Brown. I'm just whatever.
I thought about him also.
He's crazy good. I know he is. So just maybe he'll have like 1,800 yards and fucking 20 touchdowns or something. I don't know. I'm sorry I'm making you spell Amon-Ra. I don't know how to spell it.
Google's a magical.
AMON dash.
Jazz, Google's a brilliant thing.
Right, perfect.
Danny?
I'm going chalk. I'm going CMC. It's just a no-brainer.
Someone's got to do it. I mean,
He's gonna be getting the carries. He's gonna be scoring all the touchdowns. They don't care if they're up by 30. He's still gonna get carries for touchdowns.
See, I'm going in that same mindset, and guy who could have won it last year, similar to Vin's MVP, Tyreek Hill is going to win.
Oh, good pick.
Good pick.
Offensive player of the year. The guy, if he hit 2,000 yards, he would have had it.
If Sam Darnold wasn't the Vikings starting quarterback, I would have
Jefferson.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I almost chose CD Lamb.
Yeah, I was flirting with that too.
All right, defensive player of the year.
I'm going Sauce Gardner.
Whew. That's not going to happen, but I like the idea.
I'm going Max Crosby. Shitty team, but he's going to put up numbers.
Parsons.
He's still going to get his numbers.
Micah Parsons.
I do, of course, want my boy in Detroit to win it, but, you know.
Sure, Hutch, great. Like I said, don't hate the Lions.
So I'm stuck between
Will Anderson.
You know what? I'm going to say Aiden Hutchinson is going to be the defensive player of the year. I was going to say Parsons, but Ben took it. I'm trying to be different.
I wanted to say Hutch, but like Crosby.
I also thought about Watt.
Yeah, I mean that's always the.
And then Myles Garrett is a monster.
Yeah, well, he won it last year. I don't know how often they win it. You know.
Yeah, I'll be a little different. Aiden Hutchinson.
I'm gonna say offensive rookie of the year. I'm gonna hate to watch him, but it's gonna be Jaden.
I'm going Caleb. I'm going Caleb because Jaden's going to be fine. He's going to have his moments, but the Commanders still don't have it.
Again, it's probably going to be Caleb. I'm going to go Marvin Harrison Jr. just to be different.
I already took one fucking Ohio State guy. I couldn't take another one.
Yeah.
I have to go Caleb because I said that they were going to make the playoffs.
Yeah, right. 100%.
Right.
He's got to be the offensive rookie of the year.
If he doesn't win it, and they don't like.
Yeah, and I look like an ass if I picked somebody else. So.
Where did that kid go from? Danny, where'd the kid from Bama go? The edge rusher.
I don't even remember. It was that shitty.
Minnesota.
Okay.
That's where I'm going.
Dallas
Turner.
Yeah. Let me think. I'm still. Vin can go.
It's crazy how many offensive players went in the draft that you like don't even remember.
I know.
Defensive players. Like if you look at the voting, the number one guy is the guy is Latua on the Colts right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna go him.
Like Latu.
Yeah.
Latu, yeah.
Pass rusher. It's pass rushers.
I'm gonna go Keon Mitchell from the Eagles.
Yeah,
he'll become like the Eagles' new defensive player, and everybody's gonna be like, "Oh my
god!" Reddick replacement?
No, he's a corner.
Oh.
Yeah, Vin. No, you're shit.
No, it's okay, Vin. I get it.
I honestly don't know defensive players.
Yeah, I had to Google it, and I'm like, all right, yeah, that's the guy. That guy's good.
I'm also going to go Dallas Turner.
There you go.
Okay.
Dallas Turner, the guy who's going to end Jordan Love's season super early in the year.
That's right.
Listen. Relax. Okay.
Listen, I can go here and say my guy's going to come into the league and just blow it up, but my toss-up is either one is Campbell and DeMarco Ryans, but D'Amico's going to win it.
I have to say Matt LaFleur. If I said the Packers are going to win this.
I am going to go.
And he's never won it before, even though he probably should have.
Let's see. I am going to go. Andy Reid. Screw it. They never win it.
Yeah, I feel like they never give it to them. Who even won it last year? Was it Ryans? It should have been.
It was either him or Dan Campbell.
Oh, that's a good point.
Oh, you probably looked it up right now, right?
I'm gonna look it up right quick.
Yeah, I got it right here. It is.
They gave out in the no Stefanski from the Browns.
The Browns guy won it last year. I know, and Dable won it this year. That was his second time winning it as the Browns head coach.
They gave out, and they have an assistant coach of the year award now. That's random.
Whoever gets the highest paid head coaching job after the playoffs, once the playoffs start.
Well, being that I have them making the playoffs and having the offensive rookie of the year, it's going to have to be Matt Eberflus. It's got to be. Otherwise,
everybody stinks.
It's got to be.
Dev's all in on these guys.
I'm all in on the Bears, man. That's it. I already made the bold prediction of them making the playoffs. So if they make the playoffs, he's obviously the coach of the year. He's got to be.
Bears.
The Bears. That offense is going to be gross if Taylor Williams is what everybody thinks he is.
The Bears don't even root for the Bears. Don't even root for the Bears.
Listen, you better hope he stinks because if they don't stink, they're a real threat.
I hope he stinks. Listen, they still have Sam Darnold to crap on the division, so I'm not really worried about that.
Listen, the Bears have been the only team Vince actually had to worry about over the years.
Yeah.
I've had to worry about the Vikings more than the Bears, I think.
You let Sam Darnold light it up against you have a problem. It's time to shut it down.
Sam Darnold, he was the first one.
Week 1, baby. Sam Darnold coming back to the ghost town. Week 1.
It's not much of a ghost town anymore.
Listen, that's where he saw ghosts for you guys, okay? That's all that matters.
He did see ghosts.
Yeah, now
that was an all-time low.
Just a prediction. Belichick come back into coaching next year?
How about them changing the Hall of Fame rule so he can get in it because they're afraid he's going to die within the next 3 years?
I got a bold prediction for you.
Go ahead.
Belichick finally goes to coach the Jets in 2 years?
Nope. No. He's never coming to the Jets. He want to step in the locker room with Parcells. Like, do we have to go in there? No.
Yeah, that was the best.
Yeah. It's the G-Man.
He technically did it for half a minute when he was.
If the Giants completely shit all over themselves this year,
he's not going
to be your new head coach.
I don't see why he'd take it. It's the same thing with Harbaugh. I don't know why he'd take a job unless it was a great spot. Maybe he'd be the next coach of the Bears after that dude.
I was about to say, if Bears fire their guy, he could be the next coach of the Packers if he loves Jordan Love.
If you were to go to the Bears, you would have brought him there for this year.
I would have thought you would too. Yeah.
With all the draft capital they had and all the money they had to spend, you would have let Belichick take.
I think they kind of. I think the Bears kind of looked at it as, all right, we're going to give this guy a shot with the opportunity. Instead of just consistently rolling through coaches, let's just give him a shot with his opportunity. He blows it, he's out.
And they won 7 games last year with fucking Justin Fields. It was horrible.
They won, wasn't it 9 games the year before? 8 games the year before? They were the 9th overall pick. Supposed to have the 9th overall pick 2 years ago, and then they traded it.
Do you think Mike Tomlin has a job for life until he doesn't want it anymore?
Yeah.
That's
how it works in Pittsburgh. As long as you're over 500
even if
every
they have a terrible record this year?
Yes.
Because they just announced Russ as the starting QB.
Even if they're under 500, it'd be the first time under him.
Right.
And even if he got fired, he'd have a job again tomorrow. If he wanted it.
I'm just trying to think of places where Belichick could land. That would be
yeah, I'm thinking the same, and it's it's nothing is popping out. Dallas?
Jacksonville.
Would he go to Dallas?
Jacksonville.
Would he go to Dallas?
I could see him going to Dallas.
Will he want to work with Jones?
That's what I'm saying.
That's what holds people back. Jones runs that franchise
for a couple of years. Jerry Jones on his way out.
I know.
I mean, like, he's probably dead.
They signed CeeDee Lamb, and everybody started calling for his head. It's like, what else did you want him to do? Not sign your best receiver?
I mean, Parcells went there. I don't think he liked it that much, but he did it.
He hated it. He openly admitted that he hated it.
So would Belichick be able to talk to Parcells and be like, this is a bad idea? Probably, I would assume. But
Belichick needs to be in charge, and Jerry Jones doesn't let you be in charge.
He doesn't want to. I can't think he wants to rebuild something. I can't,
Right. That's why you look at a team like Jacksonville, who's got you got to look at the teams with quarterbacks.
Right.
Jacksonville, quarterback's already there. Falcons just got a new head coach. You got teams, but that's a next offseason problem.
Anyway.
Not of this one. With that being said, Dev, thank you as always. Everyone have a good night. Don't forget, use all of our predictions with all your gambling problems. We're 100% right about everything all the time.
Always.
We never get it wrong. So you're welcome for winning you all millions. Don't forget to subscribe, follow, like, everything. See you guys next week.